Hey e-commerce sellers, Lamar here, and in today's video I'm going to be taking us through the step-by-step process you can reconcile and get reimbursed for your Amazon FBA inventory. There are three main ways that you can do this, and I'm going to be taking us through each way in detail, really giving you a process guide, something that you can do on yourself or hand off to a virtual assistant to kind of help you with this process. Why is this so important? Well, I just went through this exact same process for my business, and Amazon owed me over $3,000 that they deposited in my account. So if you're not going through these things, then it's extremely likely you're leaving money on the table. Amazon owes you this, and you have to go through this process to make sure that they are reimbursing you or reconciling your inventory correctly. Before we jump into the main takeaways of today's video, I did just want to make sure that you guys have clicked that subscribe button below. You know, I'm here helping you guys start and scale your Amazon FBA business. You know, 3 years ago, I was in your exact shoes. I hadn't had a single product idea. I didn't launch an e-commerce business yet. You know, I was wondering where I could start. Well, that's what I'm here trying to provide to you guys now. So if you haven't already, definitely click that subscribe button, and I'm coming out with videos once a week detailing my journey and passing on my lessons learned so that you can go ahead and replicate my exact same success. But without further ado, guys, let's jump into today's video and get that money that Amazon owes us. All right, guys, so let's hop into today's video here. Like I said, this is going to be a complete step-by-step process for doing Amazon reimbursements and reconciliations. Now, I know that there's different software and there's different services, you know, out in the space that offer to provide these things for you, and they might take a commission or they'll charge a fee or whatnot. And while those services can be useful, you know, to save you some time, it's really not that complicated. And I'm going to show you in this video today the exact step-by-step process. It's probably going to save you hundreds of dollars in those fees, not to mention all the reimbursements that Amazon is going to end up paying you. And really, this is super important. Even if you've only done 1 or 2 shipments, you know, into Amazon, it doesn't really matter how large of an Amazon seller you are, because chances are you need to be looking for these things and you need to be requesting these reimbursements throughout your entire career as an Amazon seller. So it's super important. And like I said, these are going to be 3 hacks to getting you that money that Amazon owes you for your Amazon FBA account. All right, so in this video, I'm going to be reviewing 3 main ways of doing the reimbursements and reconciliations. Way number 1 is reconciling your inbound FBA shipments. Now, what do I mean here? When we create a shipment and we're going to be sending in inventory to Amazon FBA fulfillment centers, we set up the shipment and we say we're going to be sending in 100 units of X product into Amazon fulfillment centers. Well, what happens for whatever reason is that during that check-in process, right? You've sent in the inventory to Amazon, but during that check-in process, Amazon only checks in 91 units or 95 units. Whether the guy that is scanning each individual unit makes a mistake, maybe they misplace a box and it gets lost, for whatever reason, right? The trucker doesn't like put the box in the right area. For whatever reason, it doesn't matter. It's just that the amount of inventory that you've sent into Amazon doesn't match what they've received. And this is hack number 1 here, and it's we are going to reconcile our inbound FBA shipments. Hack number 2 is FBA reimbursements. So as you guys know, Amazon has tens, hundreds of fulfillment centers around the country and the world, and they're transferring all of your product, all of your units, you know, throughout their network. And just by pure volume of the amount of inventory that they're dealing with all the sellers out there, you know, selling on Amazon, things happen to your individual products, right? So each one of your products, each one of those units are being tracked. And oftentimes things happen that their inventory is lost, damaged, misplaced, goes missing within their warehouse. And if you're not following up on each one of those units, and don't get overwhelmed because I'm going to show you exactly how to do this in the video, but the inventory goes missing for some reason, and you need to make a claim with Amazon and detail to them and say, hey, this inventory is in the network, but it's gone missing. I can't find it. I need to be reimbursed. So Amazon actually owes you this amount of money, the value of that unit that was lost, damaged, misplaced within their fulfillment center. And then hack number 3 here is customer orders not returned. So I don't know if you're aware, but when a buyer makes a purchase on Amazon, that unit is shipped out to Amazon, and then let's say for whatever reason that buyer wants to make a return. Well, they can request a return on Amazon, and Amazon immediately refunds their account for their purchase, and then that customer is required to send that unit back into Amazon, right? Because they've requested a refund, and now they should be liable to send that unit back into Amazon. They got reimbursed, now they need to send it back in. Well, oftentimes that customer doesn't do that, so that inventory doesn't get replaced back into your inventory count, or you don't get refunded for that transaction. So Amazon credits back the customer, but they don't credit back your account. So in this case, and then the last hack, we're going to be making a claim. We're going to be following up on all these orders, customer orders that were refunded to the customer, but where the inventory was not sent back to Amazon fulfillment centers, and there's a mismatch, and we just need to start an investigation and identify either that missing unit, inventory unit, or get refunded back to our account. So there you guys have it. These are the 3 hacks or steps that we need to be taking on a monthly or quarterly basis to ensure that Amazon is either refunding us or reconciling our inventory for all these 3 different scenarios that I mentioned right here. So let's jump into scenario number 1, and I'm going to take you step by step through just how to do this. Reconciling inbound FBA shipments. So we're first just going to want to be logged into our Amazon FBA account, seller account here. You're going to go under inventory, and then you're going to go to manage FBA shipments. Now it's going to bring up a page just like this. Now what you're looking for here is the shipped units versus received units. So like I said in the earlier example, we had shipped 100 units, but Amazon did not receive those same units. We also have to take note of the status. The status needs to say closed, as in Amazon has completely checked in the inventory that they've received and they deem the shipment closed. So something like receiving and in transit, we can't have them investigate that inventory just yet because it's simply not ready. They haven't checked it all in. So going down the list here, I'm just cross-checking shipped, received, and status. And as you can see, I shipped 45 units, received 45 units, no problem. I shipped 180 units here, received 180 units here, no problem. Keep going down, 552, 552, no problem. Here we go. I shipped 100 units of this product. Amazon had only received 69 units, and the status is closed. This means that there's a discrepancy in the amount of inventory that was received in Amazon FBA fulfillment centers. There is a missing 21 units from this shipment, and we need to investigate this. We need to identify where those missing units are, or we need to get reimbursed for these missing units. So I'm going to click on and I'm going to click on this shipment and open it up. So we're going to open up the shipment, and right down here we're going to go to Reconcile. Now we're going to come over here and we're going to examine this area. So we shipped 100 units, and actually in this case they were able to successfully locate all 100 units, and on the main screen there it just looks like the data wasn't completely synced up, or there was an issue with this shipment initially, and then they were able to locate all, and there is actually no problem with this shipment. But if there was a problem with this shipment, it would say shipped 100 units here and then located 69 units, just like it did say on that main screen that we looked at earlier. So what I'm going to do initially here is I'm going to select an option, and I'm going to say missing, please research. Now here, in this case, they're not saying any additional documents are required, which is fine. Oftentimes they will require additional documents. So what do I usually do for this? Well, sometimes if it's a small parcel delivery, I will go back over to the track shipment or the shipping contents, and I'll just take a screenshot of the units that I've shipped and their tracking numbers, and I'll upload those documents to here. More oftentimes than not, those screenshots will be sufficient, and the process of the reconciliation or reimbursement for these missing units is going to happen automatically. So we just need to upload those files, and then I'll write in here, missing units, please research. And then I will preview the request, and then there will be a small pop-up window here, and I'll hit submit. And what that's going to do is basically start an investigation on these missing units. And within typically 24 hours, Amazon will come back and either request more information or reimburse you for the missing units. Now, sometimes they will request a BOL, or a bill of lading. And this is simply a document that you need to request from your forwarder, your shipping company that is making that delivery, that's picking up the inventory either from the port or your warehouse, and then and delivering it to Amazon. Now, it should have on there either the weight of the pallet, the number of boxes. You're basically looking for some sort of document here that confirms that the products were picked up and delivered to Amazon. They were at least picked up, they were put in motion, and they were delivered to Amazon. And if you can provide those documents, then Amazon will reimburse you for these missing units. But like I said, 9 times out of 10, I can go up here and just go to track shipments or shipping contents, take a screenshot of it, and upload those files. And that's because I do a lot of small parcel delivery. Sometimes, occasionally, we're required to give that BOL, and in that case, then I will provide that BOL. But either way, I get reimbursed for that shipment doing this process. All right, so that is how you reconcile your inbound FBA shipments. Next, we're going to take a look at are the FBA reimbursements. Now, this is a report that we're going to pull from Amazon. I'm going to show you how to do that in a second, but what we're looking for here is either destroyed, damaged, misplaced inventory, or a category that they deem as called other, but in most cases it's also either destroyed or damaged. So this is inventory that's in Amazon's network or distribution network, and it's just kind of floating around in there, and we need to call attention to these units so that they can either be located or confirmed that they're in sellable condition or reimbursed to our account. First, you're going to come up and you're going to go to reports in your Amazon Central Seller account. You're going to come down to fulfillment, and then you're going to come over to the inventory, and you're going to go to inventory adjustments. So under inventory adjustments, you're going to click on the download tab, and then you're going to change the event date, and you can put in, if you haven't done this ever, then you're going to want to go back and start at the beginning of time. But also, these reports can only be made to so big. So depending on how many orders are going through your account at the time, you might have to do it in blocks. So as you can see here, the date range covered, I did this in blocks, but I went back a full year just to make sure that everything was covered. It doesn't really matter. We just want to make sure that we get all of our orders. So you want to put in the exact dates and go back to since the last time that you've done this or to the beginning of time. Request the download and then download it. So I just downloaded the spreadsheet for the Amazon report. I put it in a Google spreadsheet here. You want to highlight the top row. You want to create a filter. So after you have the filter apply, now we're going to select the reason. So we are looking for DEMQ. So you want to select the reason, clear all, and then go DEMQ. Now that we have this list of lost, damage, missing or misplaced or other inventory here, we need to submit a case to Seller Central and have them investigate these units and either identify them or reimburse our account. Now they say that they only want you to submit up to 5 transactions at a time. In my experience, you can really submit many more than that. But what just happens is that email chain or that case just gets really long and kind of confusing and complicated. So what I usually do is submit, 20 to 30 transaction IDs at a time per case. And the reason for that is it's just way faster, and I have a lot of transactions that I need to submit cases for. So it just goes way faster. So you want to take the top, let's say 20 or 30 here, and you're just going to highlight them and copy them, and I'll bring them over to a new spreadsheet. And I'll name that spreadsheet Fba Reimbursements 1. And then I'll just continue to repeat this process until I've, made spreadsheets for every single one of those IDs, transactions that we need to look at. And then I will go up to File, and I'll download this file as a Microsoft Excel document so that when I submit a case, I can just add this as an attachment to the case, the open case. So now let's go ahead and do that. So we first go to the Contact Seller Support section. I'm going to go to Fulfillment by Amazon, Other FBA Issues. And then I just typically say Other FBA Issue 1 to correspond with the Excel document that I created for the Fba reimbursements. Now we need to describe the issue. So I typically just write something simple. I say, hi, the items in the attachment are showing up in my inventory adjustments as either being lost, damaged, destroyed, and I'm requesting reimbursement. I've sorted this to a list of 20 as 5 is unrealistic. I'll add the attachment here, which is the Excel file that I just created. And then from there, I'm just going to hit send. That's going to start a new case. The support staff is going to look into those lists of IDs that we provided them, and we're going to get reimbursed for that. And that's pretty much method number 2 of getting reimbursed for lost, missing, and damaged inventory. Now, those first 2 methods are going to be the most, you're going to see the most refunds from doing them, right? Those are the 2 most effective, highest impact ways that you are going to get reimbursed for your inventory. Now, this last one, or hack number 3 here on the list, and this is customers ordered, not returned. This is essentially an automatic process that Amazon has set up. So like I said earlier, the customer has requested a refund, but they haven't sent that unit back into Amazon. So what happens is if 45 days elapse from when that refund is initiated, and if the customer still hasn't shipped that unit back into Amazon, they'll automatically credit your account. But sometimes, for whatever reason, it doesn't happen. Okay, so Amazon says they have this automatic policy in place, and sometimes this automatic trigger or whatnot just doesn't happen, and you don't actually get that refund back to your account. So in this case, or in this hack, we are going to be checking up on the automated system that Amazon has in place to ensure that we have been refunded for those orders that customers have refunded on themselves. Like I said though, this probably will only result in a couple of reimbursements, while those first two methods that I've already talked about are going to take care of like 98-95% of the total reimbursements that are owed to you. But it's still important to know about this method. It doesn't take that long, and we're just double checking Amazon. We're just double checking all of our, checks and balances and keeping track of our inventory, which is a large asset for our businesses. So the first step of this hack number 3 here of getting refunded by Amazon is you're going to want to go to reports, payments, and then you want to look at your transactional view. Now you're going to come over here and you're going to select refund, because we're interested in identifying orders that have requested a refund. These are customers who have initiated a refund. We're going to choose the custom date range, and you're pretty much just going to want to go back to the beginning of time, or when the last time you did this, or even a couple months before the last time you did this. So I would probably plug in here at least a year, and I'll just change this to maybe 1 year ago. And then the to date here, we want to add in a buffer of 45 days because after the customer requests a refund on Amazon, they're given 45 days to send that unit back into Amazon fulfillment center. So anything that's been within the last 45 days, Amazon isn't going to refund to us. So I usually just go back like 2 months. I'm going to then click update. It's going to populate all of the orders that have been refunded between those two dates. And then I'm going to click download and download that report. Now I'm going to take that report and I'm going to upload it into a Google spreadsheet just like this. So this is the exact report I just downloaded from Amazon, and I just pasted it into a Google spreadsheet. Next, we need to now go get another report that identifies whether those units were shipped back into Amazon fulfillment centers. And essentially what we're going to do is do a cross check or identify an order ID that has been refunded but has not been sent back into Amazon fulfillment centers. So we need to go get that other report now that contains all the order IDs that have been sent back into Amazon fulfillment centers so that we can do that cross check. So again, we're going to go to reports, fulfillment. This time we're going to go down to customer concessions and we're going to click on FBA Customer Returns. We're going to go to the download. And for the same date range that we just covered in that last report, we're going to select exact dates. So the from date will be the exact same date that you had requested in the last report, and then the to date can actually be today's date because it doesn't really matter. Customers are consistently sending back inventory and we don't want to miss any. So just using today's date will take care of that. And then you're going to request download and get that report. So here I've taken that report and I've uploaded it to a different spread or a different tab, and I labeled these tabs down here at the bottom so that it makes it easy to identify this was the returns report, and then this is the warehouse report that we just downloaded, and I've uploaded it as a separate tab here to the same Google Sheet. The next step is we need to compare these two sheets. Okay, and what we're interested in is the order ID numbers in both of those reports. So I'm going to take the order ID. I'm going to take the order IDs from the warehouse report, and I'm going to take the order IDs from the returns report and put them side by side, and then we're going to run a little Excel script here to identify matching orders. So what I'm going to do is go to that returns report. I'm going to add in a couple of blank columns here. I'm probably going to label this just so that it's easy. This is the returns IDs. And then I'm going to go to my warehouse report. I'm going to copy all the order IDs from the warehouse report, go back to the returns, and I'm going to paste them side by side. And then I'll label this warehouse. So now you know that you have your returns. These are IDs. These are order IDs that have been initiated a return. And these are order IDs that have been successfully sent back and received by the warehouse. Now we're going to run a little script here that's going to identify matching order IDs in both columns. Now it's important to note here, if there is a match, there's no problem, right? And there's a couple of different ways that you guys can probably do this. This is like the easiest way that I've found to do it. But if there is a match here, there's no problem. So what we're looking for, we're trying to identify are order IDs that do not match. And if they don't match, then we want to open up a case with Amazon. So we want to add in now a formula that's going to identify both IDs or a match within both of these columns. So the way that we do this is we hit the equal sign, we write in match, open the parentheses, B5 in this case is the first ID that I want to identify, and I want to cross-check that with the full column of C. So to do that, I type in $5, which is the range or the start of the range that I want to match with, colon C $, and in my case it's 4,482. That's just the full range that we want to match with, right? So you're just going to look all the way down, see how many order numbers that you have there, and then plug in that number, and then you're going to go comma 0 close parentheses. And I'll paste this formula up in the description below so that you guys have it. But you just want to drag that down all the way through all of your orders here. Now what's going to start to happen is that the NA suggests that there's no match, right? So this is a potential error that we need to identify and open a case with. If it results in a number here, that means that there is a match, and it's essentially telling us which cell that the formula located a match in, right? So for these order numbers, there was a match, so it's not necessary to open up a case. And then you're going to continue to do that through the entire list, and there's going to be NAs, which again we need to open up a case for. And then there's going to be a number, which means that there's no action. So that there was a match, the customer successfully initiated a refund, and then they sent back their unit into Amazon fulfillment centers, and we don't need to take any action. All right, so now that we have our master list and we've run that formula down through the entire sheet, we want to create a filter. So we go up data, create a filter, and you just want to sort this by Z to A. And what that's going to do is bring up all the order IDs that resulted in no match. So now what we want to, now that we have our master list here, we want to copy all the order IDs that have resulted in no match. So we'll just take all those order IDs and paste them in a new tab. Okay, so here I have all of the order IDs that resulted in no match. Now, as you can see, you're probably going to paste a bunch of duplicates here. So we need to make a unique set before we go ahead and split them up and make or submit a case to Seller Central. But we just want to paste them all on the left-hand side here, and then we're going to run another formula that makes them unique. So this is a pretty easy formula. You're just going to pick another column here, hit equals unique, open parentheses, close parentheses, and you're just going to select the column A, which is where we pasted all of the IDs that resulted in no match. And it's going to come back with a list of unique IDs. And that's pretty much it, guys. This is the list of transaction IDs that we need to go ahead and open up a case with the Amazon seller account and request an investigation and reimbursement. So I'm going to take these unique IDs, download it as an Excel spreadsheet, and open up a new case within our Amazon Central Seller account. So I'm going to go contact Amazon. I'm going to go to the fulfillment by Amazon, other FBA issue, send an email, other FBA issue, customer returns. I'm going to say something very similar to last time. The attached Excel sheet has items that have been refunded, but they have not been returned to Amazon FBA. Please investigate and reimbursed. And here again, they ask for to submit in groups of 5. I would just typically upload either in sets of 20 like we did last time, or if it doesn't really matter to you, you can probably get away with uploading that full sheet of 100, 200 unique IDs that need to be investigated. You add an attachment and shoot off an email. Now here again, like I said, you're probably not going to get a lot of reimbursements from this method, just because those first 2 methods are going to take care of like 98% of the reimbursements that are owed you. And like I said, this Amazon has an automated system that does refund your account after 45 days of no unit shipped back from the customer. However, we're just double checking that. And this is that method number 3 of how you go ahead and get refunded by Amazon. So there you guys have it. I hope that this video was helpful and informative to you. You know, like I said, when I did this, I got over $3,000. I think you'll see a similar thing. I just wanted to detail, you know, the 3 ways that you can go ahead and get reconciled and refunded by Amazon for your FBA inventory and FBA orders. I hope that this video has been helpful and informative for you guys. If it has, definitely hit that like button below. And like I said, I keep coming out with videos once a week here, helping you guys start and scale your Amazon FBA business. So make sure that you've subscribed to the channel and check out my other videos. Till next time, guys, I'll see you on the next video. Peace.